Couple of Class 3s and a Class 2 to finish the night at Happy Valley. This is a 1650 for the 7th. Headed by Green Light, takes the drop-in class. He's a 3-time course and distance winner as well. Joe Moreira and Casper fans. Sank 2-time course and distance winner, but beaten favourite on his last 2 starts. Turin Red Star gets the visor on for the first time. Jolly Honour was a course and distance winner back in March. Surrealism was a last start course and distance winner, beating Delightful Lau, who'd won course and distance the start before. Alpha Hedge, course and distance winner in March, all the way down to Bundle of Delight, who gets up from the 12 to the 1650. He'll try this trip at Happy Valley for the first time. Heavenly Thought, who's another course and distance winner, is the horse Tom that's been up at Chung Fire in the last month.
And this race is not an obvious leader. Maybe it's left to Turin Red Star, who can be relatively handy. He was last time out, but capitulated in the straight. Heavenly Thought is another one that likes to race forward, so it might be between them. May even be Heavenly Thought to set them up here. Wind Glider from gate number 2 for Ben So. You've got Jolly Honour there, who's been reasonably consistent this season. Bundle of Delight is interesting, up to 1650 for the first time. He's drawn gate 1, so should get a good passage through.
Goes really nicely here in the mornings, does Sank on Sank. You can see the hold he's under as well as he comes down. Been a little bit unlucky in a couple of his runs, but he's in a bit of form there, running a nice second last time. Surrealism is the last start winner. It took him 14 starts to get that win, but he did win nicely enough, and his work's been good since, so he hasn't taken a backward step. And the other one we're going to have a look at here is Bundle of Delight, down the bottom of the page. Now, the key with this horse is he steps up to 1650 for the first time, has been running over 12 and 1400 metres. Matthew Chadwick, barrier 1. I think he's an interesting runner in this race.
Yep, I agree with that as well. We'll start off though with Sank on Sank, as we did with the track work. This is that run when he's finished second. Heavenly Thought, Brave King and Surrealism. Tom in behind.
Yeah, so Sank on Sank here, as Paul mentioned, he's had a good season, just the 1 win, but a few other minor placings. He had to avoid trouble near the 550, but dashed home strongly from well back. Out of this race, Divine Unicorn has actually come out and won since. He was held together in a recent barrier trial as well, was Sank on Sank.
Yeah, good run from Brave King too. You could see him running on really nicely there for 4th. But he's another horse that makes his own luck. He gets back.
All right, so Delightful Lau sprung something of surprise on debut, winning at big odds. This was his second start, gets up the inside. As it stands at the moment, though, Surrealism, who wins this race, is 18, and Delightful Lau is our 4.1 favourite, Paul. Yeah,
it seems a bit strange, doesn't it? It was a nice win here from Surrealism. He did have the perfect run down the outside and hit the line really strongly. Delightful Lau, he took a little bit of time to get out, but once he got out, he hit the line well, and it was a really good debut run from him. He'll want a bit of pace on, I think.
Yeah, he's only a 3-year-old colt, is Delightful Lau, but his first up run was very good when winning, but then backed that up with a decent second up outing, and Karis Teton takes the irons this time round.
Well, here is that very win as well at big odds. Jolly Honour and Wind Glider, I thought, was getting there bit by bit. He'd probably appreciate if it kept raining as well.
Yeah, a bit of rain around for him would be ideal. You can see Delightful Lau here. He got the run through perfectly and hit the line well. Jolly Honour's been very consistent all season, and Wind Glider, as you mentioned, look, he hasn't quite got there yet. But he seems to be on the improve. They have tried him on the all-weather. I wondered if that was his go, being by the factor.
And it was a blanket finish there over the final stages. He wasn't far away, was Jolly Honour, and also Wind Glider sort of in a line there. Jolly Honour, he's another one that's had a decent season, and Antoine Hamlin rides him. All
right, final leg of the TT then, Paul. Bring it home for us.
Yeah, Sank on Sank for me. I just think he's been a bit unlucky in a couple of his runs. I think he can top this off nicely. Bundle of Delight up to the distance. Delightful Lau has been consistent in his runs, and Brave King get back run on late. 2, 12, 7 and 10.
I thought there were a number of possibilities in this final race, and I've taken something at a bit of a price here. Brave King, now he's here with 119 pounds on his back, drawn better this time round. He was 3rd last and off heels at the 200 metres, but really closed off well behind Magnificent. So 10 to beat 2, Sank on Sank. Green Luck's interesting, with Joe getting back on board, dropping in grade. His last win came off 90, so he is well rated. That was the 11th of September last year. Delightful Lau goes in, but I think you could probably make a case for Alpha Hedge, and certainly Bundle of Delight. 10, 2, 1 and 7.
Yeah, it's a fascinating race. A little bit from column A, bit from column B in that race. Right at the top, Green Luck and Bundle of Delight right at the bottom. I think they're the 2 interesting runners there in the 7th.